KTA is also not shy about naming murder victims in its music videos. This video was made in response to the Who I Smoke video that is linked to ATK. One victim heard in KTA's songs is 30-year-old father of 12, Freddie Patterson.
Okay, this is just disgusting. You've done something like this and you go on record to sing and rap about it? Alright friends, welcome to Look and Live. In this video, we are going to listen to how drill music is influencing the world. And I will be sharing some thoughts and perspective on that as well. And the impact that is having in the poor inner city communities. Now, let's take a listen to this news here coming from News4Jax. Let's take a listen, friends.
Now to our I-Team investigation, killer beats. Rap music videos about murders in Jacksonville fuel fire in the community.
Mothers of the victims are speaking out, saying the videos and lyrics have gone too far, giving specific details about the horrific crimes. I-Team investigator Corley Peel is joining us live to show us how this deadly music videos, how they are really damaging families. Corley?
Well, Tarek and Stacy, many of these parents I've spoken with are still waiting for arrest or they're waiting for a trial for their son's murders. While they wait for justice, music videos from rival rap groups in Jacksonville have gained popularity across the country with songs glorifying their son's murders. The music and beat are catchy. Gaining millions of views and plays on YouTube and
every name he mentioned in that song was really killed. Every single one of those names. And he says, "Who I smoke." Just lyrics? Or are you snitching on yourself?
Streaming services.
Prosper got shot, Tate got shot, Desert got dropped, damn, Nate got popped.
Local rappers.
You heard? These are all names of individuals that were murdered. You call them out in your music. Somebody's sons or daughter. Well, these are mainly sons.
Rising to fame with lyrics about murders of young men in Jacksonville.
Queso, and you know we smoke little biggie.
The victims behind the lyrics are sons. What is it like when you see your son's name and his murder talked about in these rap songs?
It's like somebody taking an open wound or a healing wound and opening it back up and stabbing at it over and over again.
I hope and pray that, you know, the person or the persons who are rapping about, you know, that they understand that you have a mom too. And would you want your mom to feel the way the other moms feel?
JSO says the different rap groups known as ATK and KTA are rivals on the streets. ATK and KTA, those are the groups that we hear about a lot. Are they the biggest problem for Jacksonville?
They have been recently. For the most part.
In this music video,
And now I wonder what I said, got a low, I told her drop that. FNSP when the head ain't got the kite back.
the man in the green shirt is Kenyatta Bullard. He's known as rapper Young and Ace. He was a sole survivor in a deadly quadruple shooting at the town center in 2018. In the video, he wears an ATK chain around his neck. The lyrics reference 3 men killed in shootings.
Who I smoke, baby, who I smoke, Tinky, who I smoke, Lana.
Wow. He mentions the names of the people that were murdered in his songs. Isn't that what we call self-snitching? Well, you say he's just lyrics, but why would you even do that? Why would you even mention their names if it was just lyrics? This is the version of hip-hop that has gone crazy. This is the steroid version of hip-hop that drill music has now become the devil's music on display. this is not to say all drill artists are evil. That doesn't mean all drill music. I've heard decent drill music. Some of them are even Christians that are saying godly things. I am not condemning every person who is part of the genre. But this level we're dealing with right now, that drill music that glorifies violence and crimes, it's a shame. It was so bad that the mayor himself, Mayor Eric Adam, declared wars on drill music. Now, that didn't last long, of course, because he got pushed back. But nevertheless, this is what he said when he first heard drill music. Now, keep in mind, Donald Trump is deplatformed from Twitter, and many others. Zuby got deplatformed because he said, "Okay, dude." And also, I've even eventually heard Jordan Peterson made a comment on Twitter and was canceled. So, but drill musics are still on Twitter. Drill musics that glorify violence and crimes and speaking about the death of another human being is on Twitter. And that's okay.
And I had no idea what drill rapping was, but I called my son and he sent me some videos, and it is alarming. And we are going to pull together the social media companies and sit down with them and state that you have a civic and corporate responsibility. You know, I mean, we pulled Trump off Twitter.
Good point.
Because of what he was spewing. Yet we are allowing music, displaying of guns, violence. We're allowing it to stay on these sites because look at the victims. We're bringing them in. We're going to show exactly what is being displayed. And we are alarmed by it. We are alarmed by the use of social media to really over-proliferate this violence in communities. And I had...
Well, social media plays a role. The city plays a role. The way you run your city also plays a role. And also the members of the city, right? The people. If that's what they want to listen to, it's going to be really difficult to stop it. Government can't stop drill music. People going to have to make up their minds to say, I want nothing to do with it. That is going to be an individual fixing. I think government can assist and help and re-educate. But, and again, we have to go beyond that, because part of the reasons why this is happening is because of broken homes. Broken homes. No fathers. The family structure has been eradicated, especially in the Black community, to a large degree. A lot of these young men have no fathers. That's really, really where the issue started.
One of the victims, known as Bibby, is 16-year-old Adrian Gaynor.
He was joy. All he did was laugh and dance.
He was shot and killed in the Hilltop Village apartments in 2019.
Nobody can do anything worse to me than killing my child.
It took 2 years for an arrest to be made. The man accused of killing him is Hakeem Robinson, known as rapper Queso.
Play with queso. Smoke dirt and baby to the face though.
Robinson is charged with second-degree murder. Gaynor's mother, Elizabeth Gaynor, says Robinson and other rappers continuously mocked her son's death in music videos and on social media for years.
And you know we smoke little baby.
Specifically, what has been said about your son in these songs?
I've heard anything from where he was shot. I've heard what his last words were.
Baby had a clear cut, so I wasn't surprised.
This is not the only murder Robinson is accused of. He is also charged with second-degree murder in the 2020 death of Charles McCormick, a.k.a. rapper Little Buck.
You hear how sick that is to hear how egregious these crimes are, yet they have these young Black males, just like myself. We have the guts to go on record to sing about the crimes we've committed, and we make songs and we sell it to the public, and the public picks up on that, and the young ones are picking up on these musics and they re-sing the whole thing. And we call it art.
His father, Abdul Robinson Sr., and his brother, Abdul Robinson Jr., are also arrested in connection to the crime. JSO says the Robinsons are linked to the group ATK. JSO Chief of Investigations TK Waters says ATK is linked to more than a dozen murders and other crimes committed in response to perceived insults.
It's a range of things. It could be drugs. It could be something as simple as me making a rap song about you and you don't like it. So one of your friends or one of your associates says we need to get back and we're going to do something, and they'll start a shooting war.
Dominique Barner and Leroy Whitaker are also charged in connection to McCormick's murder. This surveillance video shows two suspects running through a backyard after the shooting. Investigators say they held a woman hostage before taking off. Hakeem Robinson's attorney says ATK is a certified business, not a gang. You can see ATK is listed here on Apple Music right underneath Queso's songs. But if you look at the Life of ATK website, the front page says opening soon. The group KTA is also not shy about naming murder victims in its music videos. This video was made in response to the Who I Smoke video that is linked to ATK.
Leaky got shot. What the hell? Fast face, hot on game.
One victim heard in KTA's songs is 30-year-old father of 12, Freddie Patterson, who was shot and killed in November 2020. His mother, Shantina Benton, says she doesn't know who the rappers are or why they would be talking about her son's death.
I mean, it's not a funny thing that somebody is dead. Yeah, somebody got killed. That's not funny. You know, they got loved ones, they got kids.
The lyrics also reference Corbin Johnson.
Corbin got kidnapped. They found his bones. He was rotten. Where's Corbin?
Wow. Corbin got kidnapped. They found his bones. He was rotten. What is this? What are we doing? Where are we going with this? That is heartbreaking. This is what hip-hop has come into? Now, I know there's a history behind drill music in Chicago and so on with Kanye West. I know this whole history. I've looked into it before. But this stuff that is being talked about now, it's not music. This is glorified violence and crime. This is murder on steroid. And these guys, they need to be held accountable. And these guys need to stop. If you're part of that world, you need to really think about what you're saying and considering who you're talking about. That level of hatred and animosity you're gonna have in your heart to do something like this is very devilish. It's pure evil.
So reference Corbin Johnson.
Corbin got kidnapped. They found his bones. He was rotten. Where's Corbin?
He was 18. He was just a baby.
Johnson's mother, Melissa Jackson, reported him missing in 2018. A year later, his remains were found in a wooded area. To this day, no arrests have been made.
In my heart, I kind of feel like it's someone that he knew, because Corbin wouldn't just leave with anyone.
Corbin got kidnapped, lost, got his found. Okay.
Despite the heartbreaking lyrics, Johnson...
That's crazy, man.
Corbin got kidnapped, lost, got his found. Okay.
Despite the heartbreaking lyrics, Johnson's mother feels it could help police.
I feel sorry for them, actually. But for me, I want him to keep making the songs, because you're going to say the right thing at the wrong time. That's going to be specific to the details that we don't know about Corbin's murder. So keep talking.
Wow.
Not all of the rappers in the videos are charged or suspected of crimes. I did reach out to several of the rappers and their attorneys to share their side of the story. None of them agreed to do an interview. Abdul Robinson Sr.'s attorney tells me that the songs are how the artists express themselves, and he says there is no proof that the rap groups are linked to the murders.
There is no proof that the rap groups are linked to the murders, even though they tell you clearly. I know we can't run with lyrics to condemn a person, but certainly the lyrics can give an idea of what is going on or what had happened. So these rappers are telling on themselves, but we're saying that it means nothing. There's nothing to it, really.
Tarek and Stacy, we are continuing to follow these cases, and we will continue to keep you updated as soon as we learn more information.
So, Corley, since they're giving a lot of details about the murders in the music videos, can't police arrest them?
Tarek, actually, no. Right now, the music videos are merely describing crimes. They are not confessions. So JSO says the lyrics alone are not a chargeable offense. We will explain why coming up in about the next 20 minutes on News4Jax at 6.
Yeah, that to me is where it really is disturbing. Yeah, they're describing the crimes, but in their description of the crime, they do present themselves as the murderer. They do present themselves as someone who is glorifying the fact so-and-so has died. So automatically that should make you a suspect, although you can't put the person behind bars because of those statements, but at least the forensic files that has to go on, the evidence have linking these individuals to these specific crimes need to be brought into the equation as well to find out all these lyrics and the death of the individuals, are they all linked, and make the proper arrest. I know recently there was there's a pushback for, there it is. So these battles are going on over drill music, and the pushback lately has been, there it is, there's something called the Rap Act. Introduced in-house will ban lyrics from being used as evidence in criminal cases. So they will ban the words of the rapper according to this act. The words of the rapper in their songs, no matter how detailed they are, this act will ban them from being used as evidence in criminal cases. This is a legislation that came up just a couple days ago, as a matter of fact. And this stuff is crazy because what this is going to do is giving more power to the hip hop industry and those drill artists to continue those violent lyrics and crimes. And they will also have the right to get away with it because it cannot be used against them in a court of law. So in other words, we get in trouble on YouTube, on platforms, if we say vaccine, if we say certain words, you are considered violence with your word. You can be deplatformed. You can be canceled. You can get flagged. But hip hop artists that speaks about murdering people, glorify the violence, they have a place and a voice on the same platforms. Their words don't condemn them. Their videos don't condemn them. The crime they glorify don't condemn them. They get to get away with it all. But the average American is carefully being examined on these platforms. Make it make sense to me. Make it make sense. You can't speak about COVID-19. You have to speak backwards. You have to use different words just to put forth a video out there. I got videos that were taken down, and I'm not even a famous anybody. I don't have like what, 20,000 subscribers. We're talking about hip hop artists that are in the millions, thousands of subscribers. They can say whatever they want to say, talk however they want to talk, cuss whoever they want to cuss, and they can glorify their violence and their crimes, mention the name of the victims, even describing the death of the person to the T. Some of them go in graveyard and pour out liquor on the grave of the individual that have died and made a video on it. Some even hold pictures of the person on their videos. They flash it on the camera of the person that they're rapping about who have died from the opposite gangs. They speak like that. They cannot be judged, nor reprimanded, nor deplatformed on these social media sites. But the average person who disagrees, the average person who says something that these platforms don't agree with, they get shut down. I'll tell you something. I'm going to read my Bible. That's what I'm going to do. It says, I will sing of the mercy and the judgment unto thee, O Lord, will I sing. Here's what David says, I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. When thou wilt come unto me, I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. I will set no wicked things before mine eyes. I hid the work of them that turn aside. It shall not cleave through me. You hear what it says? A forward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person. The answer to this stuff is not political. It's not so much churchy. It's not so much going out there and attack these rappers, because they're in a state of mind that they need help. They need prayer. They need to be confronted, and the law has to be used to address them. This is where the average person must make a decision for themselves to say, I want nothing to do with this wickedness. Once they don't get the support from the people, they can no longer do this stuff. As long as people are listening to them, they're getting support, their fans are following them, this is always going to continue. It's always going to be an issue. But I thank God a time is coming, this wickedness will stop, because Jesus is coming again. He will put an end to evil. And if you are a hip-hop artist or drill artist who glorify that kind of violence, I will say you need to stop. You need to think about what you're doing. And you need to know, with all this wickedness, judgment will come if you don't stop and repent. But I'll end it right here. Thank you. Until next time, remember, and as always, to look unto Jesus, live by faith. Comment below, put your perspective below, like and subscribe to the page as well, and share your thoughts and perspective with me. Have a good one. Bye.